Good afternoon. My name is Mark Anderson, and I am this year's project lead on the BYU AIAA Design Build Fly competition team. This is our airplane. We were able to successfully build and fly this airplane, and we were able to complete the mission where we towed the sensor pod, and it turned out wonderfully. This is our very first year in the competition, and we are very excited to be a part of the competition and to be able to show you some of the great work that we've been able to get done. Here is our 3-view drawing of the airplane, shown from several different angles, and you can see the general design and size of the airplane, as well as that meets the size limits for the specified competition parameters. Here is a semi-exploded view of our airplane, and you can see where our spars are within the wing. You can see some of our control surfaces, the landing gear, the motor and propeller, and this was what we used to create parts for our design. On this, I'd like to focus on just the right-hand side, where we have the winch assembly and the pod assembly, where the winch is what we used to actually deploy the sensor pod out to the bottom of the airplane, as well as recover it. And the winch was placed inside the fuselage. The pod assembly right here, our actual version that we flew does look different from this. The actual version that we flew is longer, and we did not successfully include the lights, and you'll see that in the demo that we do not actually show lights flashing, but we do have holes drilled. We just ran out of time towards the end of the semester to actually finish that up. But the pod that we did use is based off of this design, and it is aerodynamically stable, as you'll see in the video later. So some of the trade studies that we performed are a trade study with the taper ratio, where we varied the taper ratio of the wing, and we found that as the taper ratio value becomes smaller, our lift to drag ratio increases, as well as the velocity that the peak lift to drag ratio occurs. And this led us, due to our goal to maximize our speed, to decrease our taper ratio, and we went with the taper ratio 0.5. The other primary thing that we looked at in our trade studies was the tail volume. And in the tail volume, we looked at a small, medium, and large tail configuration, where we ultimately decided to go with medium configuration because it provided a good balance of being small and light enough, but also providing good stability. Stability predictions for each of the 3 missions right here shows that each one of our modes is stable in all 3 missions, except for the spiral mode. The spiral mode was unstable in all 3 cases, but we were able to successfully make the period for the spiral mode long enough that we felt comfortable flying the airplane. Overall dimensions of our airplane are shown right here. This is taken directly from our design report, and some of the values may or may not be exactly as the airplane was built. For example, the span may or may not have been exactly 5 feet, but it was very close to that and definitely within the specified range for the competition. We were able to use these values, and we were able to cut foam and material to match these values to the best of our abilities. Our estimated mission performance right here shows what we would have done if we had all 3 missions for the in-person competition. However, we just did smaller flights, and we actually have a video showing one flight where we get the takeoff, landing, deployment, and recovery of the sensor pod. And we're excited to show that to you here in a few minutes. So with that, let's go and watch some videos of the competition that we flew, and we're very excited again to show you this. This is our very first year. We're very excited for all the experience that we gained and for the fact that we'll be able to come back next year and really hit the ground running with our project. So thank you very much for allowing us to participate in the competition, and we're very excited to show you these next videos as well as to see you next year. Thank you. Go. All right, let's bring it back in. Go. Woo. Ready. It's gusty. Real gusty. Wow. All right. It's coming down. All right, it's coming up. It's in. Beautiful.